This is a special edition of the Red All Over Show featuring me, Andy Simcox, and Tracy Martin. When I say special edition, I mean a very, very special edition because we're focusing solely on Barnsley Football Club's women's team. Anybody in the know, or anybody that goes on Twitter, Facebook, or any social media will know that yesterday, Sunday, Barnsley women's team played away to Wallsend, one of their close rivals, at the top of the fifth tier of women's football. We're going to go through the game, but I'm going to get Tracy to talk about it because Tracy is an expert on women's football, having played for Barnsley Football Club women's team quite a while ago, but still, she did. So Tracy, talk us through yesterday's game and the implications of it.
Yeah, so basically with 2 league games remaining, they put themselves in a fantastic position of just needing 1 point from 2 games, which, you know, sounds pretty easy, but we're not going to allude to much of the men's team, but we know how difficult it can be to get over the line, don't we? So you know, I did speak to Jess and a couple of the players in the week, and she said all the things that you'd expect. You know, we're approaching it the same way, we're going for a win, etc., etc. But you know, there was obviously going to be some nerves, and I think there were nerves. You know, again, I've been fortunate to have a chat with yesterday, and she said that the first half was definitely not the best first half they've had all season, and they were pretty nervy, to be honest. Played all right, but you could clearly sense that, you know, the occasion was big. But they stuck to the game plan, sort of patient, and obviously they got the rewards. 21 minutes, the Wallsend goalkeeper basically made a bit of an error, and Jodie Gregory took it off her and slotted it in to make it 1-0. And I think that definitely then eased the pressure somewhat. And then at half-time, managed to have a good chat, get the girls together. And in the second half, they absolutely tore them to pieces. And, you know, a 4-0 didn't flatter them at all. If anything, it could have been more. They were pretty much outstanding, did everything right. The effort and commitment from not just the 11, but the substitutes. People might not be aware, but at the level they were currently at, there's roll on, roll off. So it is a squad more than ever. So that, you know, she said the effort and commitment was just unbelievable. And Jodie Gregory again on 67 finished a shot that was parried out to her. She's had a tremendous
season. It's a sign of a good striker, isn't it, that?
Yeah, absolutely tremendous season. She's just been consistent. You know, she's, well, with a debate, because we're not sure if she scored 18 or 19, but we're going to go for, we think 18 league goals, we think.
I'm going 19.
You're going 19.
I'll go 19.
No, Jodie might, she'll definitely know, but she's at least, you know, 18, 19, and hopefully come the last 2 games, she might manage to get over that 20 mark, whether that be 1 or 2, we're not sure. But yeah, she's been consistently outstanding all season, and you've got to remember that, you know, she's 17, just playing beyond her years, exceptionally quick, very strong, and has just had an amazing season. And then Maddie Foy propped up at 76 minutes, and again a product of the, you know, these are products of the club junior. These have all played at junior level with Barnsley for a long time, so it's so great to see the progress that's led to the first team, and they're all playing. And then Louisa Barraclough for 98 minutes, so just finished it off with 4. In the middle of that, of course, there was an injury to the goalkeeper. Some people might have seen that there's pictures of her not looking so great today, so I don't know what's happening with that. But Jodie Gregory did a Bobby Hassel, and after scoring 2, went in the net, didn't concede. So if you see any of the celebratory photos and Jodie Gregory's in a goalkeeper shirt, that's why. But yeah, she's again stepped in the net. So yeah, it was just fantastic. And you know, when I spoke to Jess today, she just said it's unbelievable. I really cannot believe that we've done it. You know, I speak to her every week, but there was probably January, February time when she just thought that, you know, they'd had an all right start, they'd done all right, and it was just a consolidation season, but they've gone on this run at the right time. Teams around them have just dropped points, and, you know, the 9 straight win. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
I mean, to my recollection, the last game they lost was away to Wallsend, funnily enough, or against Wallsend.
It was at home, yeah. It was at home.
Yeah, at home.
Yeah.
I think it was 3-2 to Wallsend. Who were just behind us, third in the table, and could have caught us, depending on results. And so to go on a 9-game winning streak, not an unbeaten winning streak, and culminating with our nearest rivals who could have just have overtaken us, to go to their ground with everything to play for them, and us just needing a point from 2 games, a 4-0 hammering. What more can you want? And I understand Louisa Barraclough's 4th goal well into added time, as you said, was a screamer.
A worldie, apparently, yeah.
She lamped. She did what you should do. She lamped it. And and what can you? You're exactly right about Jodie. 2 goals and then goes it nets. And
clean sheet.
What can you do? Well, she needed to right at the end is go up for a corner and score an hat-trick. That'd have been good, all away from goals. But it's been a remarkable season for them. I think we've lost something like, I think it's about 4 games all season.
Yeah.
Started off slowly and, nervous. I remember with you the first game at Oakwell against Annick women, and we lost that game, and full of nerves. But the difference, I have seen a difference, not only in the fitness, but the level of coaching from Jess, and the support they get from the club. The last game I saw at home against Wakefield, which is the one against Wakefield, the quality that we showed was remarkable. The passing, the movement, it was absolutely remarkable. So chuffed for him. Is there any particular players that have caught your eyes over the last number of months?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's a squad in it, and they've really have done well. And she's used the squad a lot because they've been through periods of injuries, and George, who I know is your favourite players, has really had a tough end to the season, unfortunately. But I do like George. I have a lot of time for her. I think Betty Cheetham and Alana Millard deserve a bit of a mention. They've only joined the club. No transfer window, you'll be pleased to know, and in women's football, not the level that they're at. There is paperwork, etc., but no done exact transfer window. So they joined the club sort of end of February, beginning of March, and it's no coincidence that that's when sort of the run started. They have just grown and grown. Betty Cheetham in particular, was with the club when she was quite young and went on and were playing at a very high level, but unfortunately got a terrible injury and is sort of rebuilding a career, I guess. And she has just got better and better sort of every game, and now has a massive influence on the team, and I can only see that becoming stronger and stronger next season. So I want to give a special shout out to Steph Rigby. Steph's one of the few players in that team that I actually played with, which says a bit about my age and a bit about hers. So she's now one of the senior players. When I was coming to the end of my career, she was a young player, arriving to training on a moped, so that tells you how young she really was. And she just got some real potential, and you could just see it, and she has 100% fulfilled that. She's just a steady Eddie, great player, rapid at the back. I just think, I've got a lot of time for Steph, and I think she's really stood out this season defensively. You obviously have your little special, your favourite defender, which you can talk about. But yeah, as I said before, I think Jodie Gregory deserves obviously a mention. She has just consistently been great. And the goalkeeper, she's played pretty much every game, I think. Certainly every league game. I don't think she's missed a game. And, she's, again, 17 years old. And she's, the pressure that she was under, because they had 2 other goalkeepers at the start of the season, and she came in and fought a way to get to start as the number 1, if you like. She's been outstanding. So, fingers crossed Asher's injury is not as severe as, we'll have to see. And
Ashley Ridsdale Harrison.
Harrison. Yeah, we'll just call her Ash.
And it's easy with all the double barrel names. Yeah, I saw photographs on either Facebook or Twitter, I think, on social media anyway, with her arm in a sling, which Doesn't bode particularly well for Wednesday.
Not for the goalkeeper, does it?
It's well, no, not really, not really. Although I suspect if we play like we played the last, like I say, against Wakefield or last time, she could play with one arm probably. The way we're going, but she's like you said, she's only a young woman. Yeah, I feel so sorry for, like you've said, one of my favourites that came to speak with you and I in the Red All Over team at Oaks Working Men's Club.
Yeah,
Georgina Wilson Roberts. Yeah, she is one of my favourites. Although I think she's a really good player and a really smashing human being. Apart from one small bit, when we were interviewing her, I did my utmost. She praised you, and I did my utmost. She said, "Oh, you were brilliant," and I said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Tell the truth." She said, "Well, she was pretty good." I said, "Tell the truth." Well, she were all right. She would not rubbish you, despite me trying to put every word in her mouth I could. She wouldn't. So, you know, come on, George, you just need to be more honest. Kim Brown also came with her, and she's been a stalwart in the centre of midfield. Absolutely stalwart. But I have to one of my, as well as George, one of my favourite player, as well as Jodie, because Jodie against Wakefield, she was the epitome of a target player. Everything stuck to her, and she laid it off beautifully. It was a masterclass in how to be a striker, as far as I could, as far as I was concerned. But in the defence, she could play anywhere along the defence, on the right, wherever. Melissa Turton Burrell, wow, what a player. She is a majestic, I've said it before, she's a majestic player for me. I said she's the female version of John Stones before, but I think she's a female version of a mixture between Leah Williamson for England and, in the past, Steph Houghton. She's class, absolute class. And you've mentioned Betty Cheetham, who I thought superb. She's like Lucy Bronze. She's up, except much stronger, up and down that side, taking players on, passing it, moving it. Outstanding. Every single one of them has been remarkable. So now, where are we at now? We've got the point, so we're now top of the table. And here's a little look at the table. You can see, with 3 points clear, we've got one game left. Spennymoor, who we overtook, haven't. So next Wednesday, we're at home, and it's on Oakwell, we understand. 7:30 kickoff on Wednesday at home.
100% is 100% on Oakwell. So it's right. Wednesday the 15th, 7:30 kickoff, Oakwell, and it's also the trophy lift. So they get to lift the trophy.
You haven't mentioned who we're playing yet. Shall I mention it?
Wakefield.
Yeah, Wakefield. And then after the celebration and hopefully the lap around with the trophy and photographs and all that, and oh my word, we've got to win it, haven't we? It'll fall flat if we don't win it. We don't want it to fall flat when we've won the title, the champions, and getting promotion. It's then a really difficult game on Sunday against Sunderland under-23s, who play at a higher level and will give us one hell of a tough game. They've played a couple of teams in our division and given them a walloping, so it's going to be a real tough test. Hopefully, we've got enough to do it, but if we haven't, and Sunderland come out on top, we know that they will get immeasurable experience from that game. So fingers crossed that we can do a double, but if not, even if we lose, it's been a season and a half. So chuffed for every single one of them.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, Andy. The cup is a bonus now. I think if the league had not been, in their grasp, then it'd have been more emphasis. But I think now it's like a free hit almost. They go and enjoy the day. The pressure's completely off. The league was obviously the pressure for the last month or so. They've secured that now with a game to spare. So I think it'll be a learning curve. There'll be a very good side. Sunderland first team play at a very high level. So you would expect their younger players to be, good. But we know that Barnsley's got a lot of good young players. And yeah, it'll be a test for them, and it'll be able to see sort of where they've come and where they've still got to go. Everyone looks ahead and sees, what do I need to do to move on? And they're moving into what is now classed as the Women's National League. So they go into Division North. It's the Women's National League now. It's still regionalised, so they are in the north. But it's a jump. It is a significant jump. and it will, you know, be a great test for them, as last year was coming up. But again, I would say that was sort of more your regional leagues, and now they're jumping up into sort of more of a national league. So yeah, it'll be really, really good test for them next year, and probably some of those players, it'll be a big step up for them. But I've no doubt that Jess and Lynn, we haven't mentioned Lynn, her assistant manageress, who's been with her all season and has had to play now and again. They've done a wonderful job, and I've no doubt that now they will have the riches of players wanting to come and play. You know, like what happens with anything. When you're successful, people want to come and play for you. And, you know, I have to give the club a massive shout. At the minute, things are negative surrounding Barnsley Football Club, certainly regarding the men's team. And, you know, we're not going to discuss that, but we understand the frustration around that at the moment, as we too feel a little frustrated at times. But for all that, the club have been outstanding for the women this year, and I have no doubt that they've not got the backing that they've had, they wouldn't have won the league this year, because what they've given them and offered to them in terms of coaching, support, training, kit, transport, just things that comes as sort of for granted to male professional sport football. It doesn't come normally to the level that the women have been playing at, and they've been back so well. And, you know, again, Julianne Key and Mrs. Crine, they get a lot of stick. But do you know what? They've been amazing for the women, real role models, and they've championed them, and they've been extremely supportive of Jess. You know, not many female coaches, managers at this level would have conversations with one of the owners. It just wouldn't happen. And Jess has that privilege. And like I say, I know that some people will feel negativity surrounding that, but for the women's team alone, I hope that they can fully understand actually that we need to celebrate it. It's a positive. And, you know, fair play to them is what I need to say, fair play.
It's a wonderful thing that we've finally got a women's team under the banner of Barnsley Football Club, and anybody that says different are wrong. And
Andy,
I ought to get behind them.
I played for Barnsley women, ladies.
I understand you used to play at the same time as Jess, didn't you? You played with Jess, didn't you? She
was in the net for a few seasons. I played for over like 20 years at that club, and we spent season after season after season begging Barnsley to let us get involved. We eventually managed to train on the AstroTurf. I never played on Oakwell. We never could wear the shirt. And as a avid Barnsley fan, year after year after year, we begged and tried and whatever, and not just me, lots of other people. And you know what? For whatever reason, it never happened. So for it to happen now, and for me to see it, and some of the players that I played with and people that I'm still close to, it's fantastic.
Some might say that they waited for you to retire before they did it. I don't know if that's true. That might be a bit, might be wrong. I don't know. I can't confirm it. It's just reports I've heard, rumours.
100% right, yeah.
Rumours. I hear that Jess were a good goalkeeper. I heard that she was
very good.
That she were all right between sticks. So
yeah, I'm not going to big her up. I'm not going to big her up too much, but
no.
But yeah, we'll just say she were decent.
Decent. Oh, well, mention that to her. You mention that to next time you talk to her. I thought you were decent, Jess. You were no special, but decent enough. Decent enough.
Got a good kick on her. Got a good kick on her.
That's where Georgina went with you, from being brilliant to decent. Well, you know, decent, not bad. She was all right. Anyway, what I would like to say before we round it up, Tracy, is on behalf of the rest of your Red All Over colleagues, to thank you personally for all the stuff you've done in so many ways, particularly across the whole shows, the whole channel, but specifically on this show, for the updates and the discussions you've had about Barnsley's women's team, because it's been lovely to get regular updates on the main show, and I know people have commented that they've really enjoyed knowing what's been going off with the women's team, and I feel Russell Frost as an example wants more about the women's team. So that tells you something. So hopefully, what I'm going to do is put all the bits of flannel that you've given show after show to lump them together.
There's something coming here because you were being far too nice then, mate. Far too and sincere.
I'm going to try and do I was going to say a Barnsley women's team small compilation of all the, but it'll be. I don't know if I title it or title it something like Tracy Martin's flannel highlights, something like that. Excerpts from all the shows where you've flannelled. I mean, spoken passionately and rightly about the women's team. So, on a serious note, thank you. You've been an absolute star for doing that, and that's what we need. More of that, please. So, for that, Tracy,
pleasure.
Thank you, and I'll speak to you on Wednesday.
You will.
Take care.